Hi, I'm Lisa and welcome back to my channel, The Southern Seamstress. If this is your first time viewing my channel, thanks so much for stopping by. It's been several weeks since my last video and I hope you're all doing well. During the first week of September, my husband and I spent a few days in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, catching up with some old friends. This was our first time in Milwaukee and we had a really nice visit. We ate at several good restaurants and we also caught a Brewers game while we were in town. Now that I've been back, I have had some time to get some sewing done. I've been working on a couple of different tops and I want to share those in today's video. Before I get started, I'll just tell you what I'm wearing today. It is the Monika button-up cami by Sew Magazine. This is a cute little summer blouse that I went over in my last video, but I didn't actually try it on in person, so I thought I'd wear it in today's video. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. Instead of putting buttons on mine, I did use some pearl snaps by Cam Snaps, and I thought those looked really pretty with this cotton lawn fabric. Now the original pattern has a high-low hem, but I wanted my hem to be the same length all the way around in front and back. So what I did was I lengthened the front by 2 inches and shortened the back by 1 inch. Because in the original pattern the back is 3 inches longer than the front. One thing I had mentioned about this blouse pattern in my last video was that the armholes were a little bit gappy. They kind of stuck out and were loose, and so I did go back and I just seamed in about a ½ inch, another ½ inch seam I think, on the top inch or two underneath the arm opening. So I do like it better now that the blouse fits closer to the underarm area. Now in Arkansas about a week ago, it was pretty rainy and cool for a few days. It got down in like the lower 70s and even had some upper 60s. But for the last few days, the weather has turned back sunny and pretty warm. I think it's about 90 degrees today. So I think I will have the opportunity to wear this blouse a few more times this year. So in the last couple of weeks, I've made one woven top and one knit top. And the first one I'm going to go over is the knit one. This knit top is by Itch to Stitch. I'm not sure about the pronunciation of the name, but I just call it the Isidro top. This top comes with 2 sleeve options. One is the butterfly sleeve, which is the version I made, or you can also make it sleeveless. This top comes in sizes 00 to 20, and that's a bust size of 31.5 inches to 46 inches. So pretty good size range there. Now my bust size fell between the size 2 and the 4. And on this particular top, I thought I wanted it to be maybe a little more blousy than fitted. So I sized up to the size 4 on this one. Now Itch to Stitch patterns are drafted for a height of 5'6". I'm 5'2", and I only took 1 inch off of the pattern because it didn't really look particularly long. And I'm kind of long-waisted, so I feel like most of my lack of height is in the leg area. So I really like how the length came out. The fabric I chose to make it out of was this pretty floral cotton knit jersey that I had gotten earlier in the year from Stone Mountain and Daughter. I think it's the perfect little print for this pattern. Itch to Stitch patterns come with very good detailed instructions and illustrations, and this pattern was no exception. It was really simple to make and sews up pretty quickly. I did most of the sewing on my serger. I did use my regular sewing machine to do the gathering on the neck, and it also has some gathering on the sleeves. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but it does have a little banded neck, and it also has these little bands underneath the sleeve that finishes out the armhole edge. See if you can see it there. Now probably the only thing that I wasn't crazy about was when you sew this little band on, but it doesn't get stitched down or anything, because I don't think it would look good to top stitch around here, because you know this would not lay perfectly flat because this fabric right here is gathered up in the seam, so it's a little bit bulkier than a normal seam. But the binding does make the armhole edge, you know, nice and clean. You don't see the raw seam or even the finished seam. Now I did top stitch this band down just a little bit underneath the arm where the ruffle is flat, but I don't think I really sewed it close enough to the edge because it's still wanting to poke up. So I think it turned out really well. Now here's a view of the back. It's just a simple solid back. It does have some shaping on the waist, so it goes in slightly, but it's not super tight or anything. So I think I will go try on my Isidro top so you can see how it looks on me. So here's how the top looks on me. I like the way it turned out. Now this pattern is not very long. I only took 1 inch off. I could probably have left the inch on it, wouldn't have been overly long, but I do like this length. If you're a very tall person, I would probably suggest maybe adding a couple of inches to it unless you just want a cropped look. But this is the front and then this is the back. Now if I was wearing this top out, I wouldn't wear it with black jeans. I'd be wearing some white jeans or shorts, or maybe like the white tiered skirt that's on my dress form that I have reviewed in a past video. Now I think I definitely want to make this top again, hopefully next summer. And I think I want to try making it with a full short sleeve. Still have the gathers on the top, but maybe come down to a little puff sleeve. I wish the pattern had included that version, but I don't think it'll be real difficult to draft a new sleeve pattern. Since we already have the top of the sleeve made for us, we can just bring this section down, and I can probably find another pattern that I have that maybe has a full short sleeve and just kind of put those two pieces together. So the second top I got made up is a woven blouse, and it is the Ethel top by Style Art Patterns. This top comes in US sizes 0 to 32, and it only gives finished measurements instead of just your measurements. And the finished bust size starts at 39 inches all the way up to 67 inches. So this top also has a good size range to it. Now I've made another 1 or 2 Style Art Patterns, and my measurements usually fall around a size 6. And a lot of times I will size down to a 4. Especially if I read a lot of reviewers that suggest sizing down. I knew this top was supposed to be loose and boxy, so I just went ahead and made the size 6. Some of the fabrics they suggested to make it out of was wash linen, crepe, or even silk. Now the fabric I used is also from Stone Mountain and Daughter, and it's a rayon cotton blend, and they call this Pink Punch. And I really do love all the different shades of pink and burgundy, kind of maroon in this fabric. Now originally I was going to make it up in a solid fabric because I thought these angled lines would show up better. But I really wanted to get this fabric made up this summer, so I decided to use it, and I think it turned out really well. Now Style Art Patterns don't always have the most detailed instructions, but I felt like on this pattern they were definitely more than adequate to get the job done, and nothing was really too confusing. And I think I did read that there may be a YouTube video with someone showing the armband detail. This pattern does have some wide facings on the neck and on the sleeves. So I sewed this on my regular sewing machine, but I finished all the seam edges with my serger. I did have some serger thread already that kind of blended with this fabric, so it finished it out really well. I think this pattern was really simple to make because it doesn't have any closure, no zippers, no gathers, no buttons. It slips over your head. They do have you top stitch down here around the bottom of the facing, but on the outside and along this facing. So there is top stitching right here and along here. After I had pressed the neck facings inside, really well. I did take a heat erase pen and drew my top stitching line all the way around here and all around the sleeve just to make sure it was going to turn out really nice and straight and even. Now it doesn't say anything about top stitching these diagonal lines, which are on the front, and they're also on the back. But I did go ahead and top stitch those seams too. Now this top is slightly cropped. It's drafted for, I think, a 5'8" person. So normally I usually have to take several inches off a style art pattern, but I didn't want it super cropped. I wanted to be able to tuck it in if I wanted to. So I only took, I think, about 1 inch off the bottom. So I don't normally wear a lot of full kind of boxy style tops, but I do like how this top turned out. But it feels very loose and breezy on. Now this was a size 6. And several people on the reviews on their website said they were going to size down. So even though it doesn't really, look too big on me, I think I will size down 1 size just to give it just a little bit more shape to it the next time I make it. But I do want to make it again, and I would definitely, recommend using some fabric that has some drape to it, just so it doesn't look like you're wearing like a stiff box or anything. This rayon does have a nice drape, and I think a lightweight linen would work well. They do recommend crepe or silk, and so a lot of the reviewers that made it out of that type of fabric liked it and said it just gave it an even more dressier look. So if you want to dress it up, you could use those type of fabrics. Now I probably will wear this top with black jeans or a black skirt, something dark on the bottom. I'm not going to try it on today because if you want to see it on me, I am wearing it in the little thumbnail of the video. So that's the Ethel top by Style Art Patterns. I'm hoping to be able to wear it a few times before the weather gets too chilly for short sleeves. I may be able to get a loose sweater cardigan over it and then wear it with my black jeans, and I think that would look cute. So my future sewing plans include making a blouse by Seamwork Patterns. I actually got most of it cut out last night. I'm making it out of some rayon challis that I had got not too long ago from Minerva. So I've never sewn with challis before. It was okay to cut out. They had suggested using rotary cutters for cutting out challis because it kind of moves around. So I did do that, so didn't have any problems cutting it out, and hopefully it will stitch well. So I've still been trying to make a few more things for my Operation Christmas Child shoe boxes, and I actually did get some of my Christmas gift projects for my family cut out the other day. I haven't started stitching them, but usually if I can just get things cut out, then the sewing part goes pretty quickly. So I'm trying to stay on the ball with my gifts this year and not have to do a lot of sewing actually in December. Let me know in the comments below what you've been sewing. Have you been working on just your summer clothes? Have you started with your fall apparel, or have you been working on Christmas projects? If you're not a subscriber already, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button. And until I see you in my next video, take care and happy sewing.